This is everything that I eat in a day when I'm doing 100% fully raw. So that means nothing but fresh fruits, vegetables, leafy greens, nuts and seeds, and sprouts. And this is also the weekend of my 40th birthday, believe it or not. So I figured, what better way to celebrate than to give you guys a glimpse into what I eat in a day when I'm doing raw food, as well as I'm gonna share every single recipe that I'm making, as well as the dessert, which is amazing. It's like this brownie batter chocolate pudding. It's so freakishly good. It's like my favorite raw dessert. So stick around for that. Now, I started out this morning with making a green juice. I love doing a juice first thing in the morning. There's something magical about that, of just taking in this just pure raw abundance and vibrance just straight to the bloodstream first thing in the morning. It's a beautiful thing. So this is how you make my favorite green juice. So I am gonna use 2 lemons because I am gonna make a decent amount of green juice this morning. Now, my favorite leafy greens to juice is the green curly kale. I'm using about 10 big leaves here. Now with this, I'm also gonna do 7 stalks of celery. I've got 1 whole cucumber. Then my favorite apples to juice, I've got 3, count them, 3 Granny Smith apples. And then a decent hunk of ginger because I'm a big fan of that kick. Now, once everything is prepped and ready to go, all you've got to do is just send it down the chute of the juicer and let it do the work. Let's talk about the juicer too. So I love this juicer. I've had it for like 15 years now, which, you know, kitchen appliance years are kind of like dog years. Like, they just don't last that long, but that is a long time. It has served me really well. I like the auger style juicers a lot more than what they call the centrifugal style juicers. So centrifugal juicers are the ones where you like throw stuff down the chute and it like spins something around like really fast. And it makes that crazy noise, like that, like that kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about, I hope. But those types of juicers tend to inject some air into your juice, which causes them to oxidize really fast. The juice doesn't last as long. The nutrient density just goes down a lot quicker. So with the auger style juicer, it like takes these little bite-sized chunks out of whatever you're sending down the chute, and it retains that nutrient content and it stays fresh for a long time. Like, you can even keep a juice for like 3 days. So if you wanted to make them in advance, like, that works really well. So for lunch, I'm doing a smoothie bowl. Now, I'll be honest, I do a lot of smoothie bowls, kind of regardless of if I'm doing 100% raw or not. So this is a standard for me, but this is just a simple base of water and then a handful of leafy greens. Now, pro tip, blend the leafy greens before you do anything else. The reason why? You don't want to be in the middle of a smoothie bowl and then take a bite and you got just a wet leaf in the middle of your, just blend it first. Oh, jeez. Okay, so I'm gonna do this like editing thing that just makes it look like the mango just magically chops on its own. But before I do that, like, can we just take a moment to appreciate this mango? Look at the color. God, that thing is beautiful. All right, here's the magic part. Huh? Yeah? That's good stuff. I love it. Now, with smoothies, they're hard to mess up. Like, we're talking sweet fruit, so everything's gonna be delicious. But this is a classic combo: mango, frozen banana. I think it's 3 bananas. Make sure you drop some on the floor. And then for the mixed berries, I think this is, it works out to be about like 3 cups of mixed berries there. And since it's so much frozen fruit and just a little bit of water, it does take a little bit of convincing to get everything to start incorporating. But once you use the plunger and work with the blender a little bit, you'll start to see this pattern when you look through the top. This is when you know your consistency is on point. So like, just look at this as I pour this out. Like, that is like eating soft serve for lunch. Like, that is creamy, delicious. Who doesn't want that? Get every drop perfect. There we go. And then I also love to put toppings, especially crunchy ones. And by the way, I am going to be releasing a video on how to make the raw vegan sprouted crunchy morning cereal. That's gonna come out in a couple of days. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. It's become a staple in my diet. It is delicious, it is crunchy and nutty, and it's the perfect texture for the tops of smoothie bowls or just on its own. So subscribe so you don't miss that. Like, listen to how delicious and crunchy this sounds just as I put it on top of my smoothie bowl. Yep, that's the good stuff. And then of course, you know, throw on some other toppings. I'm just using a tiny little handful of pumpkin seeds here. And as you can see from my face when I eat this very well may be my favorite like regular meal to have. Now I need you to know something about me. I am a salad boy. I love a good salad, specifically a good salad with a good salad dressing that can make or break your salad. So believe it or not, the first few steps in this salad is going to be part of the salad dressing recipe as well. I promise it'll come full circle once you see it all. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're actually gonna take our sun-dried tomatoes and we're gonna put them in a bowl and we're going to soak them in a brine that we're gonna make. And that brine is gonna be made out of apple cider vinegar, just a splash of apple cider vinegar. And we're gonna use 1 lemon, so 1 whole lemon, so juice 1 whole lemon in there with the sun-dried tomatoes, and sauerkraut. We're gonna use the brine from that sauerkraut. It is a lot of acidity, it is a lot of flavor, but trust me when I say you're gonna really enjoy that you've re-soaked those sun-dried tomatoes in that brine. They're gonna turn into these little flavor bombs, as well as it's also gonna kind of meld together to create the base for the salad dressing here in just a bit. Then I'm using a couple heads of romaine for the leafy greens here, and I'm just chopping that up into like just chunky romaine salad. Romaine is a fantastic source of omega-3 as well, by the way. And we're gonna set that to the side, and then we're gonna take that brine that we use for our sun-dried tomato, put that in our blender as our base for the salad dressing. All of that flavor is going in there. Now in there, we're gonna put 1 Brazil nut, because 1 Brazil nut is all you need to get 100% of your daily selenium. And then we're gonna throw in some hemp hearts. You know how I feel about these. I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons, which equates to be, by the way, about 10 grams of protein just in the dressing. Then just 1 sprig of rosemary from the garden, crush 1 clove of garlic, and then toss that into the blender. And then we're gonna use tahini. So people that love recipes may not love this video because I'm not going to give you an exact amount on the tahini. I just use tahini as like a way to get the consistency that I'm going for. It's not really about flavor. Tahini, especially raw tahini, it tastes like tahini. It's just ground up sesame seeds, right? So like it's pretty flavorless, which is why we went so heavy on the vinegar and the lemon and the acidity in the brine for our sun-dried tomatoes. So really what you're going for is you're just gonna add tahini, you know, tablespoon or 2 at a time until you get the consistency of a ranch style dressing. That's what you're going for. And then I chopped up a couple of green onions. I don't know if you could tell, but I really love to put toppings on just about every food that I have. It just helps to break up the consistency, offer a little flavor. This is also including those sun-dried tomatoes that we soaked in that brine. Those are gonna turn into little flavor bombs inside that salad. So good. And of course, no salad is complete without at least a half an avocado. They can be higher in fat, so, you know, if you're watching out for that thing, maybe limit that, but it's my birthday, don't come after me. And then of course, a little bit of sauerkraut. Now I know I committed the internet cardinal sin of not recording my reaction to that salad, but I can say with confidence that salad lasted no more than 3 minutes and 17 seconds max. I love a good salad. Also, as a little bonus for you, check out the pizza that my wife and daughter made. Now this isn't raw vegan, it's regular cooked vegan. There's tofu and olives and vegan cheese on it and all that other fun stuff, but like, just look at how good that looks. Just a little bonus food B-roll for you. All right, we need to get serious here. Let's do this. This recipe should be criminal with how easy this is to make. This is a 4 ingredient, fudge brownie chocolate pudding. By the way, you can pop it in the freezer overnight and you'll have like a fudge brownie chocolate ice cream, but just as is, it's like a fudge brownie batter chocolate pudding. It's absolutely delicious. 4 ingredients in a food processor. Anyone can do this in like less than 5 minutes. Let's walk through it. Now, the biggest thing to remember is this is equal parts walnuts and dates. So I use that container, fill it halfway up with soaked walnuts. I soak them overnight, and then that same amount of dates. Then we're throwing in 2 tablespoons of hemp seed, and then 3 tablespoons of this cacao powder that I get from Navitas Organics. Fantastic cacao powder. And then just water. And again, it's just a consistency question. So you just blend and then add a little bit if you need to get this like brownie batter-like consistency. Like look at my wife like drag the spoon across. Oh man, it's so good. Dress it up how you want. We used a little bit of strawberries and some hemp seeds. So good. Thank you so much for taking the time to actually watch what I eat in a day, and I hope it provided some context if you're curious about doing some raw food yourself, or if you were looking for some recipes. I hope I gave you some value there too. If I did, please hit the like, the subscribe, comment, you know how this goes. If you want to see more of this face in your internet space, then press the button. I really didn't mean to rhyme, but I'm kind of glad I did. I'll see you in the next one.